We're tired of this king that sends our soldiers to kill innocent people. We are here to show the world that we can do anything for freedom. We want democracy and we want it now. He's very greedy. Back in 2019, he bought 20 Rolls-Royce cars. There are poor people out there. They sleep with empty stomachs. People are out here hustling.
And he needs to involve himself even more on the issues that the people are complaining about. Otherwise, the country is quickly sliding into the dustbin. And if the situation continues to be like that, in a few weeks' time, Swaziland will be his.
It's been long since morning.
Under the conditions of his parole. Hi there, we are on our way to eSwatini, the last absolute monarchy in Africa that is landlocked between South Africa and Mozambique. So we're still on the South African side. We're heading there to report about the protests that have been going on for months, and they seem to escalate once again. Yesterday the army was deployed to schools where students and pupils were going on protests against bad quality of education, but essentially also against the lack of democracy, they are saying. So we're heading there now, and hopefully we will get in. That's going to be a little bit of the first difficulty because sometimes the government there is not so happy about the media coverage about the protests. So let's see if we'll make it across the border. We'll be there in the next few minutes trying to cross. Hopefully they will not give us any hassle in getting in, and if we do so, we already learned that some parts of the roads of the main road are blocked already, and students are protesting. So yeah, we'll see what to expect then. So we managed to cross the border. It's right behind us. Surprisingly easygoing, no questions asked. Now we met our local colleague here, so-called fixer, who is a local journalist here who helps us to arrange things, who has a good contacts. And yeah, he said down the road there's a lot of protests, apparently more than in the past days. He is a bit worried, but then on the other hand he says so far there hasn't been any hostility towards the media, so let's see if everything will go well, but I do believe it will.
Yeah, Bobby, they shot someone dead. They shot someone dead.
Tension on the streets of the Eswatini capital Mbabane. Drivers are on strike after security forces attacked protesters on Wednesday, shooting and killing a minibus conductor.
These police officers, they must know that we are not going to bow to them. They are hungry for our blood. They are killing us. They'll rather kill us while we are fighting than being killed while we are waiting. Let them kill us. Let them kill us.
Here the officers are holding back, but the past few weeks and months have seen brutal attacks on protesters. In July, more than 20 demonstrators were killed.
This used to be a very busy market in the center of Mbabane, but you can see it's abandoned. Most traders went home. Many of them are stranded here. Actually, there's a bus stop on the other side where you can still see kids who are trying to get home, but there are no buses here at the moment because of the protest actions. The protesters just told us that they're trying to chase away the policemen that are remaining, the few scattered policemen that are remaining here.
We travel further into the country, past businesses closed and barricaded. There are still sporadic protests and street closures.
We came across one of the cars that's carrying special forces of the police. They're going around clear protest areas. They just stopped over there where protesters tried to block the road. So protesters seem to be scattered all around the place here, and there was obviously some vandalizing happening. We can see some destroyed shops, and here behind me you can see undercover policemen not wearing their uniforms but heavily armed, and they're trying to make some arrests. We saw some people who were arrested and put on the back of pickup trucks and taken away.
Various groups are protesting: teachers, students, bus drivers, but also criminals plunder and destroy property. They all have different interests, but we keep on hearing one common theme.
We want democracy. Yes. We are tired of this monarchy.
King Mswati III has ruled the land since 1986, when he was 18 years old. He is known for his extravagant lifestyle. He has more than 10 wives, with whom he has more than 30 children. Eswatini is one of the poorest countries in the region, dependent on foreign aid. Protesters say the king isn't taking their troubles seriously enough. His spokesman rejects that.
People are on the streets, and the way they see it is different from what is in the Constitution. They have to understand that it can't be done just like that. It would be very difficult for this country to replace its constitution with mob opinion.
Meanwhile, the army has been called out. Some demonstrators want to make the land ungovernable to put pressure on the king to introduce reforms. There's no serious dialogue between the protesters and the monarch. An end to the unrest is nowhere in sight.
So our plans actually changed quite a bit. We had an interview with the spokesperson of the king yesterday that went well, and we were told that today the king has a public appearance. He's inaugurating a part of the hospital in the capital, and he even said you might have a chance, if you're lucky, to ask him a question at the site of this event. So we went there, tried to get in, and then we were told we need specific accreditations. The process of getting these accreditations, we were informed by a colleague that some of parts of the authorities were not happy with us being here, and we were advised that we should leave the country rather, and that we will not get access to the event anyway. So that's what we're doing now. We're driving out of eSwatini now. Hopefully we'll be able to cross the border. We got one report that we wanted to do. It would have been interesting to stay a bit longer, to do more reports, to keep on observing the situation, but we'd rather leave the country now and see if things are 100% sorted with the authorities again. If they welcoming us back, then we would certainly come back if the story keeps on unfolding.